Hey guys, it's me again, welcome back, and today we're going to review the Guardians of the Night 5K, so let's get into it. Oh yeah, I'm at the Riverfront Park. So the Guardians of the Night 5K has been going on for several years. It is to help bring awareness to the Richland County Sheriff's Department's K-9 unit, and it helps benefit the Richland County Sheriff's Foundation. Strictly Running does a lot of the organization for it, and it's where you sign up. This is the third year I've ran in the Guardians of the Night 5K, and I gotta say it's the darkest one yet. We were towards the end of the blood moon. It was really dark out there at 10:30. So this is like the first year I ran with a headlamp, just because other people said they were gonna run with one this year. And I think it was a good choice. Since this event was put on by Strictly Running, just go to the website, sign up. It's relatively easy, always is when dealing with them. They sent out several emails, one of them telling us about packet pickup and what your bid number is. Now for packet pickup, you had your choice of doing it the day before at Strictly Running, which is what I normally do, except for this race. We chose the second option, and the second option was to pick up our stuff at the race. Packet consisted of a t-shirt, this one, and of our bib. The t-shirt is in Hanes Nano. When I saw Hanes, I'm like, oh, okay. When I felt it, I guess because it's the Nano line of Hanes, it feels really smooth and feels thinner than what I'm used to for them. So this was a good choice. I think it helps keep costs down too. I think if you signed up without any discount, because I think this was a $25 race, and even $25, I think this was well worth it. Left the house around 9, got there around 9:30, thinking, got an hour to spare. There'll be no line to get to our stuff. And no, because this is one of the more popular events, or one of the more enthusiastic events, I guess. A lot of people were already there. If you didn't know by the title, there's gonna be a lot of dogs at that race. I brought Paddington, and you can see him at the beginning of my running video, just taking off. He still hasn't learned how to slow down and pace himself, but by no means was he the only dog. There must have been at least 50 other dogs out there, and just under 300 participants running, walking, rucking. I would say pushing a stroller, but I don't think strolling is the right word here. The police had a very good presence out there even before the start of the race. They were starting to block off, besides the run route, they were blocking off where to cross from some of the major parking lots to make it easy for everybody to park on one side of the racing area so you get to the other. You can't hear it. That's I-126 above me. Morning traffic. There was even a police officer out there on a horse. And it's funny watching the dogs out there trying to figure out if they want to be friends with the horse, if they want to bark at the horse, or if they just want to take the ball and go home, because that thing is too big. He wasn't on the course though. He was just in the start area. There were a few booths out there promoting several causes. I believe one was about taking care of your canine, the dog, not your teeth. Although you should take care of your teeth too. Out of the just under 300 people, there was a huge gaggle of Team Red, White, and Blue out there, obviously. That was one of them. I saw a couple of Columbia Running Club shirts out there. Still can't find mine. I'll have to keep looking. I'm positive I saw a Team Utopia South out there representing. And we had Rutgers, but I didn't see the Team PRT out there. Well, at least I didn't see their shirts. And then you had all sorts of, you ran the whole gamut of runners out there. You had guys who were gonna do their 5-minute mile. Then you had the casual person who was just out there to have fun. But everything about it was pretty cool. Nice, friendly. I didn't hear anybody get upset. Now the race started promptly at 10:30. I thought it started a little earlier in previous years, but we take off promptly at 10:30. And we run our first mile inside the Sandhills shopping area, just the road that goes around it. And that was very flat. In fact, I'll say the first 1.75 miles is flat. You only really experience 2 hills. In reality, it's 1 hill because it's the overpass, but it is a relatively flat course. You do feel it going up that overpass because it's dark and you can't gauge distance out there. So you're like, am I done? Where's it at? And that is like one of the areas that is not that well lit. Now the exits themselves were lit, brightly lit. Like I said, I had my headlamp out there. I was using the Danforth limited edition. I guess it's limited because it had the American flag on it. That thing was super bright. I'll probably use it again for the next Guardians of the Night 5K. There were 2 water stops out there, and they were at the 1 mile marker and just after where the 2nd mile is. It was set up on the second part, or the second loop, that takes you back on the on-ramp to return back to the finish line. And it's the 2nd mile watering spot where they have a dog bowl set up specifically for all our 4-legged friends who are running with us. So besides it being super dark, because the blood moon was not cooperating with the clouds, it was also very humid. My shirt was completely drenched by a mile and a half. Paddington was running out of breath. So I think with a race like that, you do got to practice a little bit in the humidity. And if you bring a dog, make sure he runs, or you're gonna walk him the whole time. Now the start and the finish line are not the same spot. They're almost a 1/4 mile apart from each other. Whereas the start line is between the Academy Sports and the Plex High Wire Indoor Trampoline Park. The finish line takes place at the roundabout in the middle of the Sandhills shopping area. You do run by the finish line when you're in your first mile of the race. And because there's restaurants open, we had quite the cheering crowd out there. It was pretty nice. It was very helpful and very encouraging. There was one hiccup that involved me while out there. Okay, 2, if we include when Paddington knocked over a cone while we were running. But the major hiccup was I went to go print my ticket to see my results, and the machine printed out my name and my age but left everything else blank. Now here's where the Strictly Running crew did a phenomenal job out there. They're taking everybody's times in. Now I wasn't the only one who had the hiccup. It was a family of 4, which 2 people I think had the issue. And morning, there was a woman in line behind me who had that issue. So we're all around the finish line and we're trying not to disturb the record keepers out there. But one of the women, she saw us and she asked if we had any issues, and we told her that we couldn't print anything. So she said, give her a second, because she's still recording, but she'll go through the backup system. Woman takes down my number and says, okay, here's your placement. I see it on her computer screen. She's like, give it 5 minutes and you can print it back at the machine. I'm like, okay, thank you. So the Strictly Running team was very professional, very courteous, and made sure we got our stuff. I didn't place in the top 3 in my age group, but kind of happy looking back how everything went. And speaking of placing, so they had prizes for the top overall finishers, and they had prizes for the first place of each age group for each gender. I did suggest to one of the county sheriff officials that since we have so many dogs out there, they should, I was asking if they had a placement for the dogs. And the woman goes, that's a very good idea. We'll see if we can incorporate that next year. So hopefully when Paddington runs, he'll place as well. Because I think he was 3rd dog overall coming across the finish line. And yeah, the race started at 10:30. We left the area around 11:30, I guess. Got the family home at midnight. So it was definitely a late day for us. Alex and I didn't get home till 2 after we dropped the family off. After we dropped the girls off at our house, Alex and I took his girlfriend to her place. We got back to our house around 2 a.m. So it was an even later night for us. And if there's just one thing I could change, it'd be to move it, the start time from 10:30 to ideally 9:30, but I would take even a 10 p.m. time. I think everybody's restricted to that 10:30 time just because of traffic patterns. That humidity is kicking. You see all this sweat, this wetness on the shirt? It's not moisture wicking, but the shirt is not rubbing up against me, so I like that. All right, if you ran in the race, go ahead and let me know down below what you thought of it, or if you plan on signing up for it next year. Because this is definitely, I'll say, one of the most enjoyable races you can do in the Columbia area. And if you like this video, give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends. If you like what I do, go ahead and subscribe. Until next time, bye guys.